Good morning, guys. Welcome to my Monday morning rant for Monday, the 20th of December. Last week, I caught up with young Julio. Julio, Hoolio. That's his recording stage name. In reality, he's an old mate of mine's kid who I've known since he was, I think, 13 or 14. And turns out he's been going through some really rough shit the past year or so. Family issues, drugs. He was homeless for a while. He was actually sleeping outside the 7-Eleven up the road from my place. uh, Man, that's like, it's just so much shit that someone of that age just shouldn't have to go through. And he's had to grow up quick. He's had to grow up real quick. And I'm glad to say that he's getting his shit together and he's sorting stuff out. And we caught up a couple of weeks ago, and I was just blown away by hearing about what he's been going through. And at the same time, also blown away by how far he's come. He's got a legitimate job, and he is renting a place in Kingsford with a mate, and I'm really proud of him, super proud of him. Anyways, when we were hanging out, he ended up letting me listen to some rap that he's been recording, and he's just been recording it on his iPhone. He goes and downloads a famous rap track that has no vocals on it, and he'll just rap his own stuff over the top of it. And man, like, I was instantly impressed. Hey, like, legitimately impressed. I have this thing where even in pop songs, I can't understand a fucking word people say in music. I've always made up my own words to people's songs because I just can't hear what they're saying. It's not clear to me. I'm fucking deaf, which doesn't help, but I could hear every word he was saying. And I'm not used to that with rap music. It's usually so fast and so fluent, and there's just so many words. I have no idea what rappers are saying. But this guy, man, I could clearly hear all of his words. I could understand what he was trying to say. So I played him some tracks that I'd recorded a while back, and said to him, "Why don't we start with one of my tracks and getting him to record some rap over it?" I've got all the gear. I mean, fuck, it's been a long time, so I really had no idea how to use it. But I've got all the gear. I can set it all back up, and we can record your vocals. And it'll sound a shit ton better than the stuff that he had on his phone. So we caught up last week, and I spent the day before setting all the gear back up. My KRK speakers, monitor speakers, microphone, and double headphone setup, software. And he came over and we got into it. And what he had come up to for this track that I gave him is the hardships he's been going through. And he spent some good time. He spent 2 weeks writing it, 2 or 3 weeks, and he recorded it in one take. We could have cheated. Like, we maybe did about 7, 8 takes all up. We could have cheated and just done it bit by bit, but not. We both agreed that it'd just be cooler if we did it all in one take, be more real. And he did it. He did it. I didn't even add much effects or anything to his voice. I didn't add any effects to his voice. I just used a bit of EQ. I think he's got a good voice. And just reading through his lyrics, they're heavy as fuck. And it's super emotional. And it just reminds me of me when I was younger and how emotional I was. But I was like that every day. This kid's not like that. So um, I'm super impressed. I'm really proud of him. And his storytelling is great. And the track came out pretty cool. And I'm actually looking forward to collabing with him some more and other musicians for that matter. Another old mate of mine that I met through Zen Garage reached out to me after hearing it, and he's a bassist, and I used to jam with him at Zen Garage on the weekends. And again, another guy who's just going through some shit. But when I mentioned to him, let's lay down some bass tracks, he's convinced he will make the time to do that, and that would be great. So yeah, I will leave a link to the track that we recorded last week in the description. I'm really proud of it. I'm really proud of Julio, and I wish him all the best. In other news, last week I did a big food shop, and I probably had the best week of food I have had in a really long time, in that I didn't once order takeout. And I know it's pretty funny. I think it's funny anyway for me to say, oh yeah, I would fucking die without Uber Eats. Hey, like I would die without Menulog. And it is a funny thing to say. Egotistically, it's kind of like cheeky and funny to me. But actually, it's not funny at all. It's like $30, $40 every order. And I'm hungry a couple of hours after I eat it. And it's all junk food. And it's all either junk food or it's just too rich. And it's not so good for my stomach. So I had a week of just cooking my own food. And my fridge is still full. There's just so much shit for the money. And it's healthier too. And I feel better for it. I feel a lot better for it. So, and I'm ordering fucking vegetables and shit, man. Like, it's just unreal. I'm even growing shallots. And it's like this gift that keeps on giving. These shallots that just never die. I know this is probably hilarious to a lot of people out there who know this, but it's like fucking climbing Everest for me. It's a little mark in the wall. So yeah, I have to continue that. I have to continue that. It's tough times, right? Like I am not making much money, and I also canceled my UFC subscription. I canceled a game subscription that I have running as well. So that's another like 25, I don't know, $30 a month that I've got free. I'm happy. I'm happy with this little bit of progress. I got another bit of news. I got a strange FaceTime call from someone that I don't know. Someone who he does watch my videos, I think, and he knows what I'm going through, because it was interesting because he just said, "Hey, Justin, do you have a moment to chat?" And you know what? I have lots of moments. I have all the fucking time in the world, right? So I'm always available. I'm always free. So I just said, "Yeah, sure." And then he messaged back, but it wasn't a message. It was a call. So I just answered it. You know, I was sitting there in the fucking dark, and I had to turn the lights on and answered it. And it's just this dude who. He started out the conversation super strange. It was like, do these numbers mean anything to you? And he read out these numbers, and I'm like, yeah, that's my landline. That's my landline phone number. And I thought that was pretty weird. But then he said that that was his phone number once upon a time, and that his dad used to shoot women as well, and that his dad and I would have gotten along really well. And he thought just because we both shared the same phone number that we have a connection. I thought that was really strange, man. I think if I was a chick and a guy called me up and said that first thing straight off the bat, I think I'd be pretty freaked out. But I wasn't freaked out, I was just kind of curious. And we went on a little bit, and then he brought up the fact that I mentioned that I thought I was suffering from ADHD in my last video. I think it was last week. And I have issues with just doing the easiest things in life, like opening up my fucking bills, and just struggle to do the most basic of basic things. And he just wanted to share that he was the same, and ever since he's been on ADHD medication, his life has changed. And that if I was to take ADHD medication, I would find my second wind, and I would do things that the world would not believe that I could do. And that's when I realized, like, he seems pretty wired. And yeah, I know people who I've known people who are on ADHD medication. It's like speed, right? It's like fucking cocaine, Like I've been into weed my whole life, and I did everything that I've ever done in life has been on weed. Like, I spoke at Semi Permanent in front of 3,000 people, stoned off my face. I never found motivation an issue, and obsessive. It's like being obsessed with something and being stoned. It just made it even better. But I've never been a huge fan of cocaine. It stresses me out. My mind just goes into overdrive. I mean, I'll fucking take it. If anyone offers me cocaine, I've never say no. It's always a good night, agreed. But like, I'm usually fucked for 3 days after it. But yeah, having said that, I don't know. It's just just different interests, right? Like when I was super into clubbing, I used to live in the city, and I used to club every week because I fucking love dancing. And I used to be so into speed. I don't even know if you can buy speed anymore these days. I'm pretty sure it's uncool. But my God, like, I've said it time and time again, like, speed is probably the best drug in the world. Like, it's different to cocaine. It just gives me boundless energy. Doesn't change the way I think or act. It just lets me dance all night till 5 a.m. Yeah, I used to love fucking speed. But yeah, I've known a few people who have been on ADHD medication, and it just seems like speedy sort of cocaine kind of buzz. And I mean, even if I have a strong coffee, like, I make my own fucking huge coffee, right? Every morning I make a huge coffee, but it's weak. If I go out down the road and get a coffee from the Grumpy Baker, I feel like tingling in my fingers, and I feel stressed, like anxiety, like I feel like I'm on a fucking deadline. And yeah, so I don't know. Like, I don't know how I would do on ADHD medication. To me, it'd be like having cocaine every morning. Apparently it lasts 10 hours. Have a little pill in the morning and lasts 10 hours, and it's like fucking basically legal cocaine. But yeah, I understand. He was just trying to help. He was trying to explain to me, you could get back into web designing, and you could earn thousands a week. He could help me and all that stuff. I'm like, oh, dude, no offense, but I'm not looking for help. I don't want to do that. I don't want to get back into that kind of work and make money from website design and shit. Like, I'm not interested. And it just, I understand he was just trying to help, but it's just like, man, I wasn't really screaming out for it, as you guys that listen to this rant every Monday know that I just I just kind of use this to document my life and to get shit off my chest. And um, yeah, I suppose by putting it out there, I have to accept that some people are going to complain about me complaining, and some people are going to try to help, thinking that I'm in need of it, and that's totally cool. Um, but yeah, I appreciate him calling out. I like it. I mean, he was sort of my age-ish as well, so it was pretty cool that he called rather than messaged. It's pretty forward, but at the same time, it's cool. I respect that. But yeah, I really don't think I'm going to be looking into any kind of ADHD medication. I think I'm more than happy to live with my bipolar without medication, and I'm not ready to put some unknown fucking chemical tablet in my body every single day and get to a point where I'm reliant on it. Um, but yeah, in other news, I am shooting with a girl tomorrow who is the host of Miss Inked. I'm pretty excited about it. I met her through Abby. Abby, who is having major issues with Patreon, who are ripping all her photos down, and yeah, that shit happens. I don't know. I don't know what to do. It's happened to me before as well. Um, if it ever happened to me again and I have to get off the platform, I really doubt that I could go to OnlyFans, because I think OnlyFans is really more about pornography than anything else, and I'm not into that. So I don't know what I would do if my Patreon was to be shut down. I probably would have to work on something where I host the photos on my own website, go old school, host it on my own website and have some sort of PayPal messaging system. Um, I only have like about 40 patrons anyway, so I can definitely deal with all 40 people. It's not a huge thing. Um, so yeah, I suppose I'll deal with it when I have to. But this girl tomorrow, she is looking to make money on Patreon, um, and I'm more than happy to sit her down and show her all the back end of Patreon and how much money I make there, and all the way back over the last couple of years, and what works best and how often I post, which is every day, and all that kind of stuff. More than happy to help her run through all of that, and also shooting as well, which would be great. She's looking for a photographer, and this is the kind of work that I'm looking for. Like, I don't, as much as I just love the one-off shoots, I do prefer to shoot with someone consistently. I think that's when you start to be able to push the boundaries some more and get more comfortable with each other, and do better work. So yeah, I'm gonna leave it at that. Hope everyone has a good week, and fucking Christmas, eh? Merry Christmas, and I shall catch you guys in the next one. See yous.